Hey everyone, it's Jason. Welcome to a component showing off slash unboxing of Boss Monster 2, the next level. Again, I love this game. It's based on like old school, like 8-bit, 16-bit video games. This box is like the old Nintendo cartridge, the way it's set up, like an NES cartridge, like Nintendo-ish logo players. Oop, this is upside down. Yeah, so I said it's not quite an unboxing because I've already opened it. I played this before. I have all the cards sleeved, but I realized I hadn't done any videos yet. So, this is what we're going to do. What's really cool about this is it's a standalone expansion. So, if you own the first boss monster, you can mix these together. If you don't own it, you can buy this one and play it by itself. You don't have to buy the first one if you don't want to. Or you could buy them both and keep them separate, or mix just certain parts, different things here and there, pick and choose, which makes that really cool. I like standalone expansions. It's a nice, neat idea. Anyway, expansion, the next level. I'm not going to spend a ton of time going through on how to play the game and everything. Go watch Boss Monster 1 or even like my gameplay video to see that. But if you're not familiar with what the concept is you control a boss monster, to be more precise, and you're building a dungeon for heroes, and you're trying to lure your heroes into the dungeon based on treasure cards in each of your different rooms, and then they try and enter your dungeon, and they see if you can defeat them. They're competing against other players to see who can defeat heroes more. If the hero can get through your dungeon, like there's your monster, here's a dungeon you built, the hero enters here, and they take damage per each number in these bottom corners. If they take enough damage that they die, you gain a point. It's a little soul card. If they have enough health to survive to attack your boss, you take damage. And then it's to see, either someone gets eliminated, they take too much damage, or if they gain 10 souls, they win. Here's the different boss types. They have different things on there. This is the treasure icon to show what room the hero is going to go for. Special level up abilities, XP, which breaks ties and things like that. Various rooms, monsters, traps, there's advanced rooms, your heroes, all that stuff stays the same. There's a couple new things in here which we'll go over when we actually come to them. We have our spells. No new card types or anything, really. Rooms are all set up the same. The one big difference they did add was during the setup is in the original game you draw 5 room cards and 2 spell cards, which can give you 7 cards. But then you're supposed to discard 2 cards, so you only have 5 cards in your hand. This game changed that rule and lets you start with all 7 cards. And I think the idea is just because I think people maybe didn't really like having to discard things right away. Or make them choices before they've even started playing the game, because you're trying to decide what to keep or what to get rid of. And clearly you're probably going to get rid of like advanced rooms right away, because you can't play them until you played something else. And therefore maybe then later on you didn't have the advanced cards. They do have it listed under classic mode, which each player draws the cards and discard 2. And then they also have a hard mode they added, which you could play as a variant. Remove all ordinary heroes with a health of 4. This makes it difficult to avoid wounds earlier, plus you get the epic players later. They also added unlimited lives you can play. You just keep playing until you run out of cards, and then see who wins. But that's the instructions. Alright, so let's hop into this. We also got the big cheat sheet here too. Just a quick reminder on how to play everything. Fighter, cleric, mage, thief. Alright. So I'm just gonna get in, and then hopefully this video won't be as long as the last one, because I didn't spend half my time explaining how to play the game. And we can just get into talking about the cards. So let's start with our bosses. We have Doc Scarecrow, Ambassador of Fear. He's a cleric type. Level up for the rest of the game. During the build phase, you may discard one card to choose one hero in town. That hero cannot be lured this turn. Well, that's kind of cool. So you can definitely stop something. Belladonna. And what's this kind of based off of? And again, it's like a plague doctor plus like the like a death type thing, a scarecrow. Maybe Scarecrow from DC Comics. Belladonna, Vampire Baroness. Now we have 2 vampires. Level up, you heal a wound. Turn 1 face up, hero face down. I just simplified that term. I don't know if she's really necessarily based off anything other than being like a vampiress. Torchic, Holly, the Beckoner. That looks like Lugia kind of like Lugia from Pokemon. For the rest of the game, whenever any monster was discarded or destroyed, you may put it in your hand. Well, that's cool. So now we're getting 3 of each kind. So if you bought the regular system, that would up you to 5 different boss monsters. We have fighter types. We have Killa, the man-eating ape. This is clearly like a Donkey Kong or Godzilla type character. Probably Donkey Kong because he's brown. For the rest of the game, if you have 3 health or more, or 3 damage or more, give the last room of your dungeon plus 3 attack. Well, that's kind of neat. Like, take some hits early on to gain a giant bonus. But you also have to play 5 rooms first before you gain this bonus. So you don't want to just take too many, because you can only take 5 hits. Shelga, the Kappa princess. It's a Kappa turtle wearing like a princess outfit. For the rest of the game, at the end of your turn, you may swap the placement of 2 rooms in 1 dungeon. Oh, that's nasty, because it doesn't even have to be your dungeon. Nice. And then Simeuk, who's supposed to be the Dwarf Bane, is probably a play on Smaug, from The Hobbit and Lord of the Rings. More Hobbit than Lord of the Rings. For the rest of the game, whenever you build a monster, you may draw a room card. So that mirrors one of the other cards from the first set. Kaznia, Genie of the Games. Kazana. Level up. Discard your hand and draw 3 spell cards. Ooh, so if you think your dungeon's pretty good, you can just play spell cards. That's pretty cool. The Genie of Games. It's a reference to Game Genie, which is a cheat device for old Nintendos. In old video game systems, you had to slap this extra device in between your game and your cartridge to let you override codes. Dr. Timebender, the Mad Alchemist. She kind of looks like Dr. Mindbender from G.I. Joe's, but the little hovercopter also makes me think of Dr. Robotnik. For the rest of the game, and Dr. Wily. It's kind of like a mixture of all those characters. For the rest of the game, once per turn you may discard a spell card to cancel an opponent's spells. That's kind of neat. You're giving some of these bosses like the effects that some of the other spells and rooms had. We got another dragon. Nicholas, the Arcane Dragon. For the rest of the game, you may draw a spell card at the end of your turn if any player has gained 2 or more souls than you that turn. Or more souls than you. Okay. Well, that's interesting, but that could be really hard to use. Just for them to gain at least 2 more souls than you means you'd have to almost gain 9. Alright, we have some thieves. Porcus, the King of Thieves. This looks like a ganging pig, almost. From the Zelda series. Choose 1 face down hero in your scoring keep area and remove it from the game. Search the hero deck, choose 1 hero, and place it face down in your scorekeeping area. Interesting. So basically, you're gonna go steal a hero and... I wonder what the point of that is. Choose a face down hero from your scorekeeping area and remove it from the game. Search your hero decks for 1... The only thing I can think of is if you discard an ordinary hero and pick up an epic hero when the epic heroes are available. That's the only thing I can possibly think of. And in that sense, that's not a really bad idea. We have Angstagoth, the One-Winged Demon, clearly a Sephiroth for Final Fantasy VII reference. For the rest of your game, once per turn, when you kill a hero, draw a room card. And then we finally have Eclipse, Char of Souls. For the rest of the game, when you destroy a room in your dungeon, you may uncover rooms. The uncovered room gains +3 to the end of turn. Okay, for the rest of the game, when you destroy a room in your dungeon, the discovered room gains +3. So what that's saying is because if you play an advanced room or another room on top of a room, when you destroy the room, you get to keep the room underneath. So it's also an advantage for stacking rooms on top of each other. So there's a dragon in the thief, a dragon in the mage, a dragon in the fighter, and a dragon in the cleric. So that's basically there's 2 extra monsters for each, plus a dragon for each. It's kind of why there's an extra boss for each one. Alright, let's hop into our rooms. Let's start with our clerics. We have some dark portals. Now, one other difference they did in here than they did with the first game, I think the text is a little bit easier to read. It might not be different. It just feels like it. But they don't have the A's and B's on here. So a lot more of these cards have secondary artwork, but they didn't list them on the bottom. So like if a card's like 99 and it has 2 versions, it's just 99 and 99. I don't think they changed the number. Yeah, so they're just, the same numbers. So it's a little bit harder to keep track of that then. Anywho's, Dark Portal. Once per turn, you may discard a spell card to choose one room and discard it from the discard pile and put it in your hand. This you get a free extra card. Alright, I need to set some of these down. They get a little heavy. The Imp Temple Monster Room. Once per turn, when you force an opponent to discard a card, put that card in your hand instead. And then this one does have some alternate work. This is a top demon looking the other direction, and the eyes changing a little bit. Not major differences, but still neat. And that's what lots of these are. They're little minor differences. The Madman's Manor. This is based off Monster Mansion, I believe, which that's a reference to. Once per turn, if a hero dies in this room, choose one spell card from the discard pile and put it in your hand. You can see how the tentacles kind of moved or swapped sides. So I think a lot of what they do, they just swap images around. The Arcane Crypt. Once you build or uncover this room, you may choose one spell card from the discard pile and put it into your hand. So this has a lot more stuff with uncovering things, which is neat, because it gives you more of a reason to want to build on top of stuff. The Haunted Hall. You may destroy this room and send a hero in this room back to town. So basically you spook them out, and there's different ghosts moving different directions. The Inner Sanctum. At the end of each turn, if no heroes enter this room, you may draw a room card. So yeah, putting this one last versus some of the other ones you might want first. The Incubus Gym, Advanced Monster Room. When you build this room, each opponent must discard a room card. We have the Dragon Graveyard, an Advanced Trap Room. Once per turn, if you take a card from the discard pile, draw a room. And this has some neat alternate work where it looks like a bone-lich dragon's waking up. And then we finally have the Wraith's Throne. Once per turn, if a hero dies in this room, each opponent must discard a spell card. That's a 3, so there's a good chance they could die in this room. Oh, and we did have a second Incubus Gym with the same pictures, I believe. Let's verify that quick. The card wasn't that far back. Oh, maybe it was. I mean, I just can't find it now. And I buried the other one. I've made a mess of this. Oh, maybe it was the only one, and I just dropped it, which is what is looking like what happened. Alright, never mind me being absent-minded. Alright, now let's get our fighters. The Rust Monster's Pen. Once per turn, you may discard a monster room to give one trap room -1 till the end of turn. Well, that's kind of neat. And you just have to discard it. The Goblin Nursery. If this room is the left of a monster room, give that monster room +2. If this room is to the left of... If the room to the left of this is a monster room, give it +2. So basically, if you have a monster room guarding the nursery, it gets a bonus. And then, I like it to have a second picture. Where now the baby's crying, she put the little one down, she's getting ready for battle. The Barbarian Hall. Little human hand up there. When you build this room, choose and discard one spell card. If you have any spell cards in your hand. And basically it's because you're getting like a really powerful attack. And then there he jumps up on the table. He's all like, I'm drunk. A Spawn Point is a little spidery guy in a Kappa turtle. Once per turn, if a hero dies in this room, draw 2 room cards. That's kind of neat. So him dropping out and him shooting up. The Fang-Rook Garden. Once per turn, if a hero dies in this room, you may immediately build another room in your dungeon. And the plants are laughing. Shroom Man Cave. When you build or uncover this room, give another monster room +3 till the end of turn. So this could be a good timing effect one. And then he's showing there he's growing. Like the one magic card, spell card from the first game. Goblin Mess Hall. Give every other monster room in your dungeon +1. So it's kind of neat, because there's a goblin one and the other one that only gives +1 if their monster's next to it, and this is kind of like a more advanced version of that. So you play on top of that, and then there are a little bit different pictures of them guys pulling a kebab out, guys drinking on the table. We have Mega Worm Burrow. When you build this room, choose and destroy an advanced room in any one dungeon. Ooh, that's nice. That could be mean. And then finally we have the Arena. Once per turn, you may reveal a monster room from your hand to give this room +X attack, where X is that room's power. So basically you can boost it any number that you need to. Cool, cool. Alright, so that is the first bunch of cards. Now, we got our mage cards up. Now, mage tend to be more focused on magic and spells. So you have Anti-Magical Zone. You may discard this from your hand to cancel opponent's spell. The spell is not cast, placed in the discard pile. Well, that's cool. In fact, you discard it from your hand. Lost Library. You may destroy this room to draw 2 spell cards, then discard a spell card. And then sell the skull lid up. Sometimes they're really minor little things. The hole on the top moved over too. I think it's possible I'm missing something else that changed. But sometimes there's little things. The Frost Bat Cave. You may destroy this room to deactivate one room in any dungeon. Oh, that's neat. So it works like a freeze spell. And then they're showing the bats moving around. Spell Slime Pit. Whenever you play a spell, this room gains +1 till the end of turn. And it's showing these, show the slimes falling into the slime pit. Obviously, they don't care. Observatory. Once per turn, you may discard a spell card to draw a spell card. Oh, nice, a little trading. Nothing wrong with that. Sorcerer Robe's School. When you build or uncover this room, draw a spell card. So you can shooting some spells and teleporting. Hall of Mirrors. You kind of see a little image in that one. Once per turn, when your opponent plays a spell, draw a spell card. Nice. Oh, and there it really appears. You kind of see it, and then now it actually appears. Some of these would be really neat if they did like the foily artwork, where it's like you turn it one way, it's one picture, and then the other. I mean, I'm glad they didn't put it in the game, because that would be really expensive to have to do that for a bunch of cards. And then you'd almost want to do it for every card. Elemental Generator. This room has X attack, where X is equal to the number of spell cards in your hand. And finally, a Brain Sucker Queen. Once per turn, if a hero dies in this room, draw 2 spell cards and discard a spell. Yeah, like that foily thing would be really cool, but like I can imagine that would add a lot of cost to the game. And then you'd almost have to do it for all of them. It would be a neat thing to do like a special booster pack or something, like without like another Kickstarter. Be like, hey, we're gonna go with the special booster that has these iconic cards that have it. So here we have Bullet Builder, the trap room. The kobold you're shooting bullet bills out. Once per turn, you may discard a trap room to give one monster -1 till the end of turn. The Rec Room, like wreck as in destroying, but wreck like recreational room. And he's coming in like a cannonball. Once per turn, you may destroy another room in your dungeon to draw a room card. And then here we have the alternate one where he's destroying that platform. The Deadly Treadmill. So it's kind of the hanging money bag again. Once per turn, you may discard a room card to draw a room card. Just discarding is kind of neat. That's just a dangerous room. I would be worried about having to play that level. The Collapsing Bridge. The hero survives this room until the end of turn. This room deals... If the hero survives this room until the end of turn, this room deals +3. So the idea of this would be, you have one hero goes through, they jump on this, they take 1 point of damage, they keep going. Then if another hero comes through, now it's a 4. Kind of showing it like in the second card, where the bridge is collapsing because someone ran on top of it. Spike Pit. When you build or uncover this room, give this room +3 till the end of turn. So it's kind of a neat thing. Like the first time it's there, it's like, oh, it's the trap, and it's really powerful. And then afterwards, it becomes really weak. So it's kind of like the opposite, sort of, of the other one. Similar to it, but a little bit different. The Decapitator. During the build phase, you may destroy this room to choose one room in any dungeon. Remove its treasure value until the end of turn. Interesting. Chump Chomper. Once per turn, you may destroy another room in your dungeon to give this room +4 till the end of turn. And this is one of my favorite cards. The Block Pile Puzzle. Tetris. At the end of your turn, destroy one room in your dungeon. At the end of each turn. So it gives 5, so it's going to do some damage. But every time you have to keep destroying a room. But I love the alternate picture. A little bit gruesome, but it's still funny. Just because, like, what did you expect was going to happen? They're falling blocks. And then the Smashinator. Once per turn, you may destroy every other visible room in your dungeon to give this room +6 till the end of turn. So it says visible dungeons. So there are cards that let you place stuff face down or different things. But still, that's crazy, right? It gives you 9. Maybe depending on what you have for hiding rooms, so they're not all visible. Then you might have something to survive later. And then we have our gold ones. We have the Warp Tube. You may destroy this room to send a hero in this room back to the first room of your dungeon. And that's just the same pipe the other direction. Bomb Boy Factory, like the bombs from Mario. When a hero dies in this room or survives this room, destroy this room. So either way, you destroy it. But it does 3, just pretty big amount for a beginning room there. That guy's about to explode. Hatchling's Horde. So you had the Hatchling's Nest, I believe, in the first game. So now you have the Horde. So it's all 4, but it has 2 instead of 0. So we got a couple of those. Shows them like taking off. So it's an advanced one. So ideally, what you do is you put it on top of the other one. The Genie Lounge. When you build this room, if you have no spell cards in your hand, draw a spell card. The Werewolf Den. Once per turn, you may discard a card from your hand or give one hero +1 till the end of turn. Showing that so they can boost up some of them heroes. Cursed Tomb. If an effect of another card would cause this room to be destroyed, each opponent must discard 2 room cards. Ooh. You don't want to mess with that Cursed Tomb. We have a save point, which is funny, just because it makes sense for like a dungeon. You may destroy this room to retrieve 1 spell card from the discard pile that you played this turn. Alright, and then let's hop into our spells. So we have all your bases. This is based on the old Command and Conquer game. And like the meme, all your bases belong to us. Viewing an opponent's hand, you may take one room card from that opponent. Another tassel, Mario. There's Mario 3. It's Mario 3. Choose a hero in your dungeon, send that hero to the entrance of the opponent's dungeon, which is funny. So basically, if you're not going to be able to defeat him, send him over to the other one. And I like there's 2 different pictures. So the first one he's mad, the second one he's crying. He's like, oh no. That's kind of funny. The Fairy Fountain, like Zelda does a lot of those. Choose a room until the end of the turn. It does 0 damage, and each hero entering it gains +1 attack. So turn like one of their 4 or 5 rooms into like a 0, and then also gain 1 health. And then the fairies are in different positions. It's on. Kill 1 hero in your dungeon who has 3 or less health. So you don't play after you move through. Or if you have 3 or more damage, kill 1 hero in your dungeon. And this is got Killa on there, so it works with him. Hiring Spree. Draw 3 room cards, then give another player 1 of your room cards. Oh, it's nice just because you can look at them first. Here we have Lightning Bolt. These are kind of neat. These are like half ones, kind of like mimic. They have the bosses on there. So you have Lightning Bolt. Deal 3 damage to 1 hero in your dungeon. And if you discard another spell card, deal 3 damage to each hero at the entrance of your dungeon. Oh boy, that could really be terrible. And then there's just being shocked. Megaling Kids. Croak from the first game, and a bunch of kids unmasking him. Choose a room until the end of turn. It has no ability text. Or choose a player. If there are 3 or more heroes in that player's dungeon, that player cannot win this turn. Oh yeah, Kool-Aid Man reference. Swap the placement of 2 rooms in your dungeon, or if 2 or more of your dungeons have been destroyed this turn, choose and destroy 1 room in any dungeon. Party up. Choose a dungeon until the end of your turn. Each hero entering that dungeon gains +1. This game has a lot. This one has a lot more interesting effects. It's like the first one went through and got like your basic ones, and this has some other neat ones. I mean, granted, you're all still gonna work. We have pause. If there's a hero in your dungeon, return it to the entrance and restore it to full health. No heroes may enter your dungeon until the next turn. There is his eyes closed in that one. But yeah, I like that there's all the effects are very different. Choose a hero in the opponent's dungeon. Remove that hero from the game. There's getting sucked up. Secret Stash. Choose a room in your dungeon until the end of your turn. Give it one extra fighter, cleric, melee, or mage. The shortcut. This is a reference to Scott Pilgrim and to Mario 2. Like the hidden zones in Mario 2, but also the Star Door and the character there looks like Ramona Flowers from Scott Pilgrim. So choose a hero in any dungeon. It skips to the next room it would enter. Or if that dungeon has 5 rooms, the hero skips 2 next rooms it would enter. So that's cool. And then they're hopping down. We have super effective. It's fighting a fire boar thing. Fire Wolverine. I'm not sure what that is. Choose a room in your dungeon. It deals +2 damage. It deals +2. Should be a black one, so damage until the end of your turn. So it shows health. Or if only one hero was lured into your dungeon this turn, that hero does +4 damage to them. We have a surprise gift. During your build phase, you may place a room in your opponent's dungeon instead of your own. Place it face down over a face up room, and your opponent may still play another room, and any build effects still apply to your opponent. And then there's a dragon hatchling coming out. The undead minion. Choose one face down hero in your scorekeeping area, remove it from the game. Deal damage equal to that hero's health to one hero in your dungeon. It's sliding forward. And then here we have, I kind of know why this one didn't come first before the other one. I think it's alphabetical. We have Wild Monster. And you may immediately build a monster room over an existing room in your dungeon. Alright, so that was all our spell cards. Now we have a bunch of heroes. Alright. We have our heroes, same thing, normal heroes. Let's see what we got. We have our clerics. We have Elstar. Once an acolyte limited to simple orisons, Elstar is now a true priestess who has mastered the mind bondage spell. She accepted that nothing is more important than her spiritual growth. Kyle, the Incorruptible. Acolyte for the Order, declares himself free from sin and immune from temptation, an unwavering agent of virtue. Danae, the Slayer, a woman of few words. Danae has relentlessly spoken to her mission, to eliminate every undead abomination in Arcadia. As long as she keeps faith, no zombie is left safe. So this is, oh boy, I can't think of her name. It's the one katana-wielding woman on The Walking Dead. I think it's supposed to be based off of. And then Slayer could also be a reference as well to Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Solomon Kane, Pilgrim of Pain. This zealot has mounted a one-man inquisition into the darkest depth of Arcadia's dungeons. A grim slayer of godless, he holds particular disdain for Belladonna and her vampire king. So the look kind of reminds me of like Van Helsing, which makes sense against like a vampire. But Solomon Kane and kind of also makes me think of Deckard Cain from Diablo. Here we have, now we have some new cards. Okay, so this is new. We have Dark Heroes. Dark Heroes are different. They have a star on the bottom. They're always included in any game, no matter what. But they have special abilities. So like the regular ones are just called ordinary heroes. These are ordinary Dark Heroes. So they have special class types. Instead of just being all clerics, this guy is specifically a vampire. It says once per turn, an opponent may discard a room with a cleric to give this hero +3 till the end of turn. Then we have a regular cleric again. Aiden, Cleric of Love. The son of a philandering elf, Aiden inherited his father's charm and beauty. As a missionary cleric of the goddess of love, he's always eager to practice what he preaches. There's another ordinary hero. Now we're into the fighter class. There's like a hookshot Joe. I said he has a hookshot. His name is Hookshot Joe. The commander of an elite fighting unit, he lost his left hand in battle. Now, with a grappling hook permanently fused to his arm, Hookshot Joe carries the fight. This is based on Bionic Commando, I believe. Would be the one I would think of. Tarka, the Eskimo warrior. This northern warrior will not rest until he finds his best friend. No dungeon is too deep to delve, no mountain too high to climb. He'll do whatever it takes to bring his buddy home. This is one of the ice climbers. Lady Samantha. Her skills as a weaponsmith made Lady Samantha one of the wealthiest nobles in Arcadia. In search for greater glory, she armed herself to the teeth with a set off to hunt the Brainsucker Queen. The mask makes it kind of look like a Boba Fett type character, but it might be referencing something else. Here we have Ampersand the Galland, which is funny that he's just an ordinary hero. The Dwarven hero is legendary for his prodigious appetite, his puissant skills in arms, and his crazy temper. What he lacks in height, he makes up for in fuel, rage, strength. Ampersand the Gallant is one of the lost Vikings, I believe. There are 3 of them. I'm not sure if all 3 are in this set or not. That's why it's kind of funny that he's just an ordinary hero. But then again, the special ones aren't named. So you have a dark hero, we have the Barbarian, which is basically Conan. Once per turn, an opponent may discard a room with a fighter to give this hero +3 till the end of turn. So I think they're all going to have the same idea. Gamok, the Dragon Hunter. Some regard him as a savage of his primitive weaponry. His speech consists of cryptic phrases like scythe, his black face, his eyes red, but none of Gamok's abilities and skills. Possibly a Turek reference? I'm not sure. So now we have our mages. We have Megan the Missile Mage, clearly a Mega Man reference with the shooting and the jump and the Megging instead of Mega. The Intrepid Adventuress, also known as the Azure Invoker, or the Blue Bomber as Mega Man's called, is not your typical wizard specializing in magic missiles. She'd rather be battling monsters than studying dusty tomes. Altus the Occult. Altus has seen things in the world to drive most mortal men to madness, but he is a man of vision, and a touch of insanity only makes his magic more powerful. A Kid and His Slime Spell. I believe there's a game called A Kid and His Slime, or A Boy and His Blob. I bet this is what it is. I think I mentioned before it was A Boy and His Bubble. Probably the same idea. An ordinary kid discovered a wounded slime spell and nursed it back to health with candy. The slime spell rewarded his kindness with an adventure of a world of magic. Wink, the Probably Magical. Wink's apparent lack of magical talent has not stopped him from going on adventures or referring to his pet chameleon as his familiar, but so far everything is going well. We have a Dark Hero, we have the Witch. Once per turn, opponent may discard a magic to give this +3. And we have Iskandar the Ice Mage. Once a small town librarian, Iskandar became a hero when he defended his town against a dragon attack. Now he seeks to use his chilling ice magic to bring down the dragons of Arcadia. And now we have our thieves. Blackleaf. Blackleaf is always the first to scout ahead, swing across chasms, or disable poison traps. She often says there is no danger when she's afraid to face, except with a life of adventure. So I wonder if this is like a Tomb Raider reference. It seems like the Black Leaf doesn't really make sense for Tomb Raider, but sometimes you're not that on the nose. Murphy the Magnificent. He was a charlatan, a carnival performer, and a con man, all before he turned 16. When he delved into his first dungeon, he discovered he was something else, a hero. Colgar, the fugitive prince. He lost his kingdom to Cerebellius, but he is now retains his ancestral weapon. Now with his royal robe, he must use his disc, glaive, and his wits to regain his throne, or at least his honor. And this is Rygar. Francisco the Endbringer, the highly trained assassin from the southern Silver Kingdom, is known as the Painter of Blood. Our dark hero is the Hitman, which once per turn, discard a thief room to give it +3. Raymond 2 Chains. He was once an outlaw and notorious for wielding his chain whips with deadly precision. Now he is a man on a mission. He tracks the Croaking King across the dimensions and will not stop at anything to find him. So this is kind of like a Indiana Jones / Simon Belmont. And then we have another fool. So they're adding another one in here. And he's still running off the edge. Alright, and then finally we have our epic heroes. And then this box will be done. Our cleric, Tyrone, the Pharaoh Ascendant. So I just want to see here. Just 2, 4, 6s. Yeah, so they're all evens, except for the fact that you can add the 3 to them dark heroes to make them odds. And then these guys are all 11s and 13s, the same as the previous game. I wish they would have been odd numbers on this one and even on the other, just for the sake of, because it would have made combining them a lot more interesting. Tyrone, Pharaoh Ascendant. When Tyrone is young, the temple elders praised his hieroglyphics, but what began as mere artistry grew into miraculous power. Now he uses his wisdom. His wisdom is revered throughout Arcadia. Brandolin Word Blessed. This cosmic chronicle travels tirelessly from world to world, inscribing each people's histories and magics on plates of copper. He never stops writing, except to battle forces of darkness. We have an epic hybrid hero. So this is a new type. So it's a 2 class. It's a thief and a cleric. It has a star. But like the dark heroes, they don't have any specific name. If this hero survives your dungeon, choose one face down hero in the scorekeeping area and flip it face up. But I think these guys, I wonder if they're all going to be different versus where the dark heroes in the other one just discard a room of their class type they gain +3. I wonder if these guys are all going to be different. But they have 12 hit points instead of the 11 or 13, which does make them interesting. Heaven's Boy, the son of an angel and a mortal woman who's now born with clipped wings and a half halo. Now he fights evil with his holy blade and golden gauntlet known as the right hand of Boone. That is definitely a reference to something. I don't know what it is. Oh, Hellboy. Because it's the opposite of Hellboy, where Hellboy's a red demon who's half demon, half human. And it was a demon and a man. And he has clipped horns. And then he has the right hand of Goon. And this is where I gotcha. Lone Fox and Kit. Lone Wolf and Cub. Old Ronin story. Do you know that this mysterious beauty was once a princess? With her daughter on her back, she distills a sword to seek victory against those who would depose her. Sir Morton the Deadly. No knight has ever is more celebrated, but do not invite Sir Morton to your wedding feast. Many more have died by his blade, and the noble as well as wicked. This is J.R.R. Martin, writer of Game of Thrones. It's referencing the Red Wedding in there. I'm not even a huge Game of Thrones fan, I know that much. We have a Sword Mage dual class. Each time a player plays a spell with this hero in your dungeon, give this hero +2. Yeah, so that's cool. Each epic hero gets a separate ability. fighter, O'Brien the Destroyer. Every night he begins a new quest for glory. The savage redhead has survived the rise and fall of many rivals. He knows what's best in life and will end in triumph. Dumbledore the Blue, obviously mixed between Dumbledore from Harry Potter and Gandalf the Grey or Gandalf the White. In a world of punk rock pyromaniacs and the spiky-haired sorcerers, one man believes in keeping things classics. Dumbledore proves that the flowing beards and pointy hats never go out of fashion. Raffuse the Namer. Raffus knew the names of most things, and most things were to his command. He said to the wind, break, and the wind broke. I wonder if that's also referencing like a famous writer. I just don't know who it is. We have a druid, a cleric mage class. Give this hero X health, where X is equal to the number of spell cards in your hand. Marcus, the Geomancer Supreme. Once he lived alone in a flat, infinite world. Alone, he braved the depths of dangers to mine its riches, and Then this unaccompanied miner had a dream. He dreamed he could create anything, even entire worlds, and each world he created held a dream of its own. Again, I think this is probably based off of some sort of writer, but I don't know for sure who. Rom the Reaver. No one is faster with a blade, but Rom is a tortured soul. As if a monster lurks inside him, the dungeon is the only safe place to channel his rage. Glamia, Thief of Dreams. It's a dream of the Sandman series, possibly. No doors closed her, nor any dreaming mind. She does not fear death, but Gaminia's light steps cast long shadows. She must know to never let them overtake her. Yes, it's based off of Dream from Sandman, or Sandman, from the series by Neil Gaiman, which is Gamia. Gotcha. They're referencing like writers and stuff in here. Archer. The hero ignores the last room of your dungeon. Oh boy. That could be interesting. Then we have a thief, Roberta, dreaded outlaw. Her life becomes a nightmare when she was wedded to an evil prince, and her true love was slain by a pirate. Roberta took vengeance on both, and now she does as she wishes. So this is obviously dreaded pirate outlaw Robert from The Princess Bride. Again, I'm not super familiar with that, although I should be. And then finally, we have a special, unique hero. We have the brothers. This hero is lured to the dungeon of the player with the highest total of souls minus wounds. He has 20 health. And now this is a double reference in here, because this is obviously red and green is a reference to Mario and Luigi, but the brothers also references the Brothers Wise who created the game. So that's the difference there. Or not the difference, but that's the extra special thing there. Alright. That is it for this one. That is Boss Monster 2, the next level. There's only one more big box set like this, and that's the mini boss expansion. Rise of the Mini Bosses, I believe. And then there's a bunch of smaller expansions. The smaller expansions won't be as long as videos as the bigger ones. And then we will also have some other little tiny stuff to show off too. Alright, so check you guys in the next video. Bye.